Hi guys, it's Marissa from North Russell's Library, back again with another video. Today we're going to be doing 5 tips on how to become more organized, and this is directed more towards high schoolers than anyone else, because I know that a lot of high schoolers have been sent home since the pandemic and they're kind of struggling, and I should have made this video earlier. You know, it's kind of the end of the year at this point, but whatever, maybe it'll help. So my 5 tips for you are first, to get an agenda or a planner of some sort. Now I have mine right here and it probably won't even fit in this screen because it's so gigantic, okay? So this is basically it. And basically, it literally looks just like a mini calendar in a book, basically, I don't know. And it helps me because, you know, sometimes people will be like, oh, well, keep a diary or keep a journal of how you spend your days, and like that way you can remember like when this happened or when that happened. And I don't know about you guys, but that's just a lot of work to journal every day. So what I'll do is I'll crack open my planner and I will just write like little notes like, you know, today I went to the doctor's, or today I had my final, or something like that. You know, you just make little notes to help you remember how each day went, and that can really help you stay organized, not only like on paper and in school, but in your mind. Because you want, you know, if you're not organized in your, this sounds so weird, but like if you're not organized in your brain, how you expected to be organized with your school? Like, you have to have some sort of organization to remember, okay, this day went with this and that, you know what I mean? So that's why I like my agenda. Now, this isn't for everyone. Like, I'm not saying everyone has to do this. I'm just giving tips, okay? And my second tip would be to get school supplies. This kind of falls under the agenda category. Like, get whatever you need. Get pencils, get pens, get notebook paper, get anything you would need, because I found that I actually use more school supplies at home than I do in school. Because in school, all I really need are notebooks, folders, and pencils, because the rest of the material is what the teachers are giving me. But if it's online, I have to write my own lessons, and it's not fun, but I need to buy more school supplies. So that's what I do. My third tip would to be, you gotta, well, you don't have to, like, this is just a me thing. I like to make a list because I'm more of a visual learner, I'd say. Okay, so this year I was getting very, like, I wanted to finish school so bad. And the way my classes were set up was the grade book was completely open to me. I could get whatever assignment at whatever time and turn it in. It didn't matter if I finished everything in October or at the end of the year, as long as everything was turned in. And that's a pretty big freedom for me. And I'm a pretty big procrastinator, and I've learned before in online school, I don't do very well with deadlines, especially when I'm not motivated. So I made this big long list. I got this huge poster board paper from Walmart, and I just, you know, marked one assignment, 2 assignment, 3 assignment, and I like wrote every single assignment that I would ever have to do in that one class. And every time I would do an assignment, I'd cross it off, and I would do it in the form of months. So like, one chart would be for March, one chart would be for April, one chart would be for May, and that just kept me more organized and my brain more focused on months rather than tackling it all at once, because then you can get overwhelmed, and you don't want that. So my 4th tip would be email. Keep in contact with your teacher. Let them know if you have any questions about material, because all it takes is for one piece of information to not go through, like, in your head, and you could be confused the rest of the year. And I know that from experience, because you could be doing great in algebra or geometry or trig or whatever you take, and there's that one part, the equation or whatever, you don't understand, and you're like, okay, well, I don't understand this, but I'm just not going to speak up. Like, no, you have to speak up. You got to get that help, because the rest of the equation will not make sense. And that's how it goes sometimes. You just got to make sure you get every single step. It's like a recipe almost. Like, you just want to make sure you get everything and you understand it all. So definitely email them if you have any questions. And My fifth and final tip is review. So I think review is important because it's going to help your brain just go like, oh yeah, I remember this stuff, like I remember this material, and it'll just give you a quick refresher on what you've learned before, and I think it just really helps. Now keep in mind that when you're doing online school, since you probably don't have as many papers to look back at that like the teacher has given you, like you might have it online, but like if you like to, I don't know, like have papers on hand, you might want to make it yourself on paper. I don't really know, but that is up to you. Those are all my 5 tips on how to stay organized.